Good afternoon. Let's sing together, Wake Now My Senses. I invite you to rise in body and our spirit, and we'll sing all 5 verses.
Good afternoon, and a very warm welcome to all of those with us online and those of us here in this sanctuary. It is so wonderful to be together and to see all of you here. Last time I spoke to a group this big, I cried, so I think I'll get through it this time. We welcome you to this long-anticipated celebration of the installation of the Reverend Mary Mangione Geer as the called and settled minister of Olympia Unitarian Universalist Congregation. Boy, it's been a few years. My name is James Trujillo, and I serve as the president of OUUC's Board of Trustees, and it is my pleasure to thank you for your presence and support. Many hands went into the planning and implementation of this event, and we are grateful to all of them. We hope you will join us after the ceremonies for refreshments, as OUUC also begins our 70th anniversary. My friends, we have been on a journey. The OUUC community has been in search and transition for a settled minister since 2014. We found our minister, Reverend Mary, in 2019. And then, of course, we entered into perhaps one of the most challenging periods of our community's history as we and the rest of the world reacted to the pandemic. The last 2 years, we have seen the most serious public health emergency in a century. The troubling emergence of misinformation, increased violence, institutional divisions, fascist attacks on our democracy, lost loved ones, escalating climate change, and the proliferation of racism. Our challenges have been many. As our spiritual leader, Reverend Mary has led us through all of these challenges with inspiration, hope, ingenuity, pastoral care, and an astoundingly tough backbone. She has inspired connection, compassion, and resilience. She has certainly earned her voice, a voice that speaks to that space in our hearts that calls us to be our best, most noble, and loving selves. OUUC's vision is to create a loving, just, and healthy world. Reverend Mary has been called to help us move toward this vision, and yet she cannot do this alone. This installation represents a covenant between her ministry and the people of OUUC. Only together, working with people of faith from all traditions, people who care for our only home, the planet Earth, people who have compassion for our common humanity, can we hope to achieve this vision. I believe she can lead us toward this vision of a just and loving and healthy world. I believe it because she is not alone. She has answered the call, as we all must if we are to prevail. Thank you so much for joining us for this installation, this celebration of covenant. As we strive to become what is needed to meet this moment in history, let's remember to enjoy it as well, with gratitude, cheer, and laughter.
Welcome to the Lutheran Church of the Good Shepherd. My name is Carol Tomer. I serve as lead pastor of this congregation, and it is a great joy to welcome you to this holy space, these spaces that we want to share in this side of town. It is not only a joy, but it is a privilege for Good Shepherd to be the host site for this momentous celebration in the life of OUUC. Congratulations to you as you mark 70 years of life and ministry in this community. I like to think of OUUC as a slightly older sister of Good Shepherd. For we are marking 65 years of life and ministry this very weekend and for the 10 days ahead. Good Shepherd is reflecting on the fact that 65 years can make one think of retirement, perhaps. But instead, we are marking refirement. You are all more up to date, perhaps, because in these days, 70 might make us more realistically think of retirement. But whatever our congregational ages are, it is always a good time for refirement and new possibilities and holy experiments and listening to what our callings are in this time and for the road ahead. I have great respect for Unitarian Universalists in part because I attended a divinity school with many UUs. And I am so grateful for your open-hearted commitments to the wideness of our soul-filled connections in community, serving together for the sake of love's movement throughout creation. And I rejoice to offer congratulations to you, Mary, on the occasion of your long-awaited installation. What a joy it is to be a sister in ministry with you, to know you as a wise and caring colleague and friend. I treasure our conversations and our comparing of notes and sharing the experience of both being rather new in Olympia. I am confident that you, Mary, and you, OUUC, will continue to experience blessings abundantly as you share in ministry together. And as you, Mary, continue to bring your deep and wide gifts of leadership to this ministry journey together. You all have been called to one another for just such a time as this. May you and all of us be blessed by most this amazing gift.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Reverend Corey Passons. I'm here with Interfaith Works. I'm also the Interfaith Minister for Community for Interfaith Celebration. It's a joy to be here with you today. It's a joy to celebrate the 70th anniversary of Olympia Unitarian Universalist Congregation and to celebrate the installation of Reverend Mary Gear. On behalf of Interfaith Works and the 30-plus congregations and affiliated organizations of our membership, of which OUUC and Lutheran Church of the Good Shepherd are valued members, congratulations. Really, there are only a couple of things that are needed for deep and true interfaith engagement. The first of those is to show up. Community is never theoretical. Interfaith community is not theoretical either. The second thing that's needed for interfaith collaboration is the ability to appreciate and celebrate a person's tradition while remaining rooted in your own. Mary, I have seen you do all of this. I've seen you show up and create spaces of affirmation and celebration. I've seen you show security and support to people beyond your tradition. I've linked arms with you in this work together. And I just want to tell you and all of the people who are gathered here today that I trust you. I deeply trust you. I also wanted to tell you today, along with your other colleagues who are gathered here, that I'm here for you. We are here for you when the burdens of ministry become challenging and you need to protect your congregation from that which you carry. We're here for you. Reverend Mary's colleagues, myself, and Interfaith Works, we're also here for you, Olympia Unitarian Universalist Congregation. We're here for you to support you in your ongoing work of stewarding anti-racism, creation care, and justice. So may you, Mary, and you, OUUC, continue to open yourself, expand yourself beyond what you think you are or could be. May you continue to show comfort to those who would welcome your care. May you continue to be a vibrant partner in the interfaith network that's here in our region. You are a blessing. May you continue in that vocation. Amen, and may it be so.
I am
In this gathering, as in all Unitarian Universalist gatherings, we join with others around the world in lighting a chalice, the symbol of our faith tradition. Please join my family as we light our chalice together with these words written for Reverend Mary.
The chalice is holding us. The chalice is as we light, the chalice is holding us. Light, fire, circular. We light this chalice to make this space.
The congregation is made of spiritual people, dreaming, differing, wandering. The congregation gathers in shared vision, searching with an intention to put dreams into action.
The minister is a guiding figure, caring, helping, committed. The minister is a guiding figure, holding us all together.
The chalice, the congregation, and the minister unite to commence this special moment. Light, fire, circular, dreaming, differing, wondering, caring, helping, committed. For this moment, we light the flame.
On this day of celebration, we honor this congregation's history, also who you are in this moment, and who you are becoming together through shared ministry, through a guiding mission, and through the spirit of life and love. As we seek to honor the fullness of who you have been and who you are becoming as a beloved community, I ask you to arrive here as our full selves. I ask you to arrive in body, in mind, in spirit for worship. May we come into this space exactly as we are, with our beauty and our brokenness, our grief and our gratitude. It is all sacred. For today, we are at a threshold, a rite of passage, an opportunity to express mutual care and commitment to covenant, one of the most sacred acts of our faith. May this moment and this service be blessed with love, with joy, with presence, with wholeness. Let us worship together.
Body and our spirit, and let's sing together with heart and mind. The lyrics for the hymn can be found in your order of service. With heart and mind.
it's our 70th anniversary.
Wait, what? It depends on how you want to count. You could say it's our 150th anniversary.
Come again? How's that?
Well, the Unitarians first came to Olympia back in 1872. They even had their own church building and everything.
But after 21 years of serving the community, didn't the church close after the financial panic of 1893? They had to sell the building.
And then it took another 70 years for Unitarianism to spring back to life in Olympia.
Yes, and spring it did, in 1952. That's when a small group of like-minded people gathered together and decided to start a fellowship. You know, a lay-led group without a minister.
Yeah, and they call it the Unitarian Fellowship of Olympia, the UFO.
I heard that the UFO first met in people's homes. Then, when more people joined in, they started renting places.
Yeah. I know that one of the places that we used was the Olympia Women's Club down on Washington Street.
They say we kept growing, and eventually we needed our own building.
Yep. And I think the congregation developed an edifice complex.
So we bought that little white church at 2nd and B Streets in Tumwater in 1968.
It was built in 1872, the same year that our earlier Unitarian congregation was formed, and it's still there.
Oh, and don't forget, in 1961, the Unitarians and the Universalists merged and created the UU Association, the UUA.
Yeah, but we kept the UFO as our name for another 30 years or so. Stubborn, I guess. But we were still a fellowship.
In the 1960s and the 1970s, we really got active in social justice work. We offered draft counseling during the Vietnam War, you know.
I heard we got involved in Native American rights, mental health services, and a bunch of other local issues too. What a time!
And about then, we started experimenting with a part-time minister in the pulpit.
I think Bill Arnsmeyer was the first minister. Who knew?
Yeah, sounds like a lot of debate went on back then about how churchy we wanted to be. But eventually, we also hired someone to play music some Sundays. Big step. Wowza!
In the 1980s, we realized that if we were going to continue to transform our values into action, we needed serious money. We began to talk about pledging.
Oh boy, I bet that stirred up a hornet's nest.
It did for a while, but once the decision was made, things really got rolling in the 1990s.
I think it was about 1990 that the Reverend Sandra Lee was first made our first full-time minister.
And you're not going to believe this, but Darlene Sarkala started as our church administrator in 1991. She's been holding this ship together for 31 years.
And then, even though he'll tell you it was only 7 years ago, Troy Fisher, our fantastic choir director, signed on in 1996.
What amazing luck we've had.
Meanwhile, we started a number of traditions that lasted a long time. A women's retreat, family camp at Camp Seymour, mushroom hunts, a strawberry festival.
And then, after another serious spasm of edifice envy, we built and moved to our present home in Northwest Olympia in 1993.
Yeah, and we changed our name too. We became a congregation. What a year that was. New building, new name.
Yeah, but OUUC, it's not nearly as cool as UFO. But I guess we're stuck with it.
It's like we were coming of age or something.
We installed a sound system for the hearing impaired,
Launched a website,
computerized our bookkeeping.
Serious stuff.
Serious, yes. About this time, we achieved recognition from the UUA as a welcoming congregation for the LGBTQ community. That's one that welcomes everyone, no matter who they love.
Then, in 2002, we called Reverend Arthur Vaney to be our settled minister. Arthur's arrival started another growth spurt.
Yeah. Then we had two buildings, the church and the annex next door. A minister, a church administrator, a part-time religious education person, a music director, a custodian.
You know, in 2007, when Olympia was beginning to experience a crisis of homelessness, the OUUC congregation voted unanimously to offer some of our land to the unhoused as a place to camp.
That was the beginning of Camp Quixote, and our struggles with city rules and insurance standards to make it legal to do the right thing. Boy, I hear that was quite a time.
Eventually, 5 local faith communities took turns hosting the camp for 3-month periods. What a lot of work that was for everybody.
My goodness, yes. And you know, right from the beginning, the first residents of Camp Quixote had a vision of building something more permanent. And
so, in 2013, after huge amounts of work by folks from OUUC and the larger community, Quixote Village was built on the west side of Olympia.
I heard the village opened on Christmas Eve. 30 tiny houses providing permanent, supportive housing for our houseless neighbors. What a gift.
Really. But then all that activism drew more people through our doors. We needed more room.
Yeah, remember? You could hardly hear yourself think in the foyer during coffee time. And our DRE's office was in the closet in the kitchen.
So, in 2010, we started building again. We added a wing for religious education and the commons, and we made the administrative area and the kitchen bigger.
I bet it was fun when everyone got to paint their handprints on the insides of the walls in the RE wing. They're probably still there.
We could go on and on. So much has happened at OUUC. Don't forget the support of our partner church in Transylvania and all our trips to visit. The choir, a group of our youth, lots of us.
Yeah, well, we better wrap this up. But there was all that work, trying to figure out who we are and what we want to be after Arthur retired.
And the transitional ministers who helped us do that.
And our first unsuccessful attempt to find our next settled minister.
And we found that other justice causes needed our attention.
Marriage equality, climate change, racism, and white supremacy. So many issues are calling us.
Now we are installing our second settled minister, Reverend Mary Gear. How great.
We sure have come a long way from that small lay-led fellowship that began it all in 1952, I tell you.
Or even longer, from that first Unitarian church in Olympia in 1872.
Happy 70th anniversary, OUUC.
Wow. Friends, what a tour through the history of shared ministry here at Olympia UU. Shared ministry which now found between Reverend Mary Gear and the congregation positively thrives when it partners with the wider circle of faith communities embracing it. Reverend Mary has chosen 2 recipients for today's offering. The first is Interfaith Works. Interfaith Works creates and supports the intersections between the values of the world's wisdom traditions and the realities of today's public square. They offer diverse emergency services, programs, and support to our most vulnerable neighbors, not as charity, but as acts of social justice. For instance, their homeless service program is rooted in empowerment, social inclusion, and community education to help end marginalization. And their history of providing care has positively strengthened Olympia's interfaith communities, social justice efforts, and peace relations. The second recipient is the Hewitt Hopper Rabel Ministerial Support Fund. And this fund is an important one. It enhances professional ministry in our congregations throughout the Pacific Northwest and British Columbia. It's named for 3 influential ministers emerita in our region. It directly finances ministerial internship programs in our region, and just a few years ago, I was a benefactor of their financial support with my internship ministry here. And it also provides funds for continued education and development of our ministers who are currently serving in the region. So, beloveds, as advocates for the power of shared, loving ministry throughout our communities, let us give our thanks with the generosity that we are each capable of. We now practice our time-honored collective Unitarian Universalist gratitude that ministries like this one so positively deserve. So if you're joining us remotely, you'll find instructions on your screen shortly. And for those of you here in the sanctuary, the offertory baskets will be passed. On behalf of Reverend Gear and OUUC, thank you.
Think about it, there must be higher love, down in the heart or hidden in the stars above. Without it,
all for your generous gifts. I'm going to speak about our future, but I know that Tim Ransom, who has organized our 70th anniversary history, had an introduction for our video.
Happy anniversary! Sorry about that. My name is Tim Ransom, and I am one of the members of OUUC that has been paying attention to our congregation's history for over the years. As you have heard many times by now, this year marks our 70th anniversary of when we were founded by a group of like-minded folks in Olympia in 1952. Previously, for the 50th and 60th celebrations, we marked the event by putting together booklets about our history based on interviews of a few current and former members of the congregation, and supplemented by excerpts from newsletters and other records from the past assembled by congregational historian Emily Ray. This time, with the hope of building and reinforcing our community, we decided to engage the congregation as a whole in the process of celebration and acknowledgement of our past, present, and future. We asked members and friends to make and donate OUUC mementos, decorate flags for this celebration, and record their hopes and dreams on video. All this material will become the contents of a time capsule to be opened, we hope, by OUUC 2032 for the 80th anniversary. In addition, we created the vocal skit, which you had a chance to view, of iconic photographs from our past with a voiceover from some of the congregation. And I just want to take a moment because they were acknowledged at the end, but John Tefation and Des McGarren and Martha Guilfoyle and Dio Lewis were the voices you heard, and the skit was put together by Emily and I. Thank you.
My name is Reverend Sarah Lewis. I use she, her pronouns, and I have the task of bringing our attention to the future. We've seen our history, we've remembered our past. 70 years of the Olympia Unitarian Universalist congregation. And here we are in the year 2022, here at the installation of our settled minister, Reverend Mary Gear. Everything has brought us to this present moment. And so I invite you to pause right now. Anchor yourself in the here and the now. Feel your body in your seat and take 2 mindful breaths of this air that we are sharing. This particular gathering of these particular people on this particular day will never happen again. And so let's notice it and appreciate it. And then I'd like to invite you to take a little magical journey into the future with me. It's a pretend journey, and we might want to begin by dusting ourselves with some imaginary magic dust. You can even imagine that it's glitter because it's imaginary, so we don't have to clean it up in here. So just give yourself a little dusting. We're going to take this journey in our imaginations, and I invite you to decide if you want to stick with imagining OUUC in the future, or another community, or the wider world community. It's all up to you. But just go ahead and close your eyes if you're comfortable, and jump with me 5 years forward. All right, it's 5 years from now. If there were any babies with us in 2022, they are now young children. If there were kids with us, they're now teenagers. If there were teenagers with us, they're now adults. Look around you 5 years from now. Who is in community with you? What are they doing? What does it feel like? What challenges have you all faced together? And what challenges are you still facing? What impact have you had on the larger world? And then get ready for a bigger jump. We're going to go 20 years ahead from now. All right, we leap, and now the babies and the kids from 2022 are adults. And some of them might even have kids of their own. Some of us will have finished our lifespans and left behind a legacy. Look around at the community of 20 years from now. Who is there? What are they doing? Where do you see your gifts and your legacy that you left to them? What's blooming in that future because of seeds planted now? What challenges are they still facing? And what joys are they celebrating? And get ready, because now we're going to take the biggest leap of all. We're going to jump ahead 70 years. 70 years from today, it's going to be the year 2092. The babies that are with us in 2022 are going to be elders. Most of us here today will be gone, but our memory and our legacy will live on. So look around at the community of 2092. Who is there? What are they doing? When they think back on their history, on us, what are they grateful for? What are they frustrated about? What is possible for them because of the gifts that we left? Now return to today, 2022, to this gathering on this day, and bring all that you've learned on your journey with you. What hopes for the future live in your heart? And how can we plant those seeds together today so that that hoped-for future may blossom? Look around at the people around you. These are your fellow gardeners. This is the community that will cultivate that future together. Smile and appreciate each other, if you would. Even with your mask, smile with your eyes. And together, we're moving forward into that future. After the ceremony today, we invite you to join us at the anniversary table in the gathering place during the reception, and we can continue this dwelling on our history and our future. Thank you for being here today.
Ministry is a quality, a relationship between and among human beings that beckons forth hidden possibilities, inviting into deeper and more constant and more reverent relationships with the world and with one another. Carrying forward a long heritage of hope and liberation that has dignified and informed the human venture over many, many centuries. Ministry is present with to and for others, in their terrors, in their torments, in their grief, misery, and pain, knowing that these feelings are our feelings too. Celebrating the triumphs of the human spirit, the miracles of birth and life, the wonders of devotion and sacrifice. Ministry is witnessing to life-enhancing values, speaking truth to power, speaking for human dignity and equity, for compassion and aspiration, believing life in the presence of death, struggling for human responsibility against principalities and structures that ignore humaneness and become instruments of death. Ministry is all of these and much, much more than all of them, present in the wordless and unspoken, the ineffable. It is speaking and living the highest we know, and living with the knowledge that it will never be as deep or as wide or as high as we wish. Whenever there is a meeting that summons us to better ourselves, wherever our lostness is found, our fragments are united, our wounds begin healing, our spines stiffen, and our muscles grow stronger for the task. There is ministry. There is ministry. There is ministry. There is ministry.
We gather today to install the Reverend Mary Mangione Gear as the settled minister of the Olympia Unitarian Universalist Congregation. In doing so, we rededicate ourselves to the values of this liberal religious community. We are mindful of the Unitarian Universalist principles and the OUUC mission that bring us together. Today's ceremony symbolizes and strengthens the mutual covenant between the people of this congregation and the minister we have chosen. Through our words today, we acknowledge and celebrate our commitment to a shared ministry. Members of the Olympia Unitarian Universalist Congregation, whether you are present in person or online, we invite you to rise in body or spirit and join together in this covenant of installation by reading our parts from the order of service. Please join me in saying our mission. Our spiritual principles affirm the worth and dignity of every person, and that we are part of the infinite, interdependent web of life. We welcome and wonder, embrace and empower, bridge and become. Reverend Mary, will you join us in fulfilling our mission? Will you inspire us to more spiritually enriched lives?
I will. OUUC members, when called to action, will you share in the leadership of our congregation as we seek to fulfill our mission?
We will. Reverend Mary, we come to you with our hopes and fears. Will you lead us in building a welcoming religious community, tolerant and appreciative of our differences, loving and compassionate of heart, and courageous in spirit?
I will. Members of OUUC, will you be honest and truthful with each other and with me, recognizing and appreciating all of our differences, our strengths, and the talents that we all bring to this community?
We will. Reverend Mary, will you work for justice with us, helping us find our paths toward making the world better and supporting us in our struggles?
I will. OUUC members, will you share your talents and gifts to fulfill our mission and work for justice? Will you work with me to serve our neighbors, to feed their bodies, their hearts and minds, as we feed our own?
We will. Reverend Mary, we ask you to minister to our whole selves, to minister to us in our joys and sorrows, to be with us in our successes and in our brokenness. Will you listen to us, walk with us, challenge us, and dare us to grow?
I will. OUUC members, will you accept me as a whole person, recognize my joys and sorrows, be with me in my successes and learnings, and challenge me to grow?
We will. Reverend Mary, acknowledging this awesome responsibility, will you be our settled minister?
With such joy and gratitude, honored by the trust you have placed in me, I will. I commit to serve as your minister to the best of my abilities, to offer my care, support, and presence in service to our mission and the commitments of our faith. I so look forward to growing, learning, creating, and playing alongside you as we create a religious community that values love, healing, and justice. I come to lead, and you are leaders too. I come to inspire, and you have vision too. I come with gifts, and you bring your talents too. OUUC members, acknowledging this awesome responsibility, will you join me in this shared ministry?
We will. Now we make official our commitment to one another. OUUC members, please join me in the language of installation. We acknowledge the awesome responsibility of the shared ministry. After searching our hearts and finding the courage for commitment, we hereby install you, the Reverend Mary Mangione Gear, as the minister of our congregation.
Thank you. Please be seated.
And now we have an exchange of gifts. On behalf of the congregation, OUUC's gift is a beautiful stole that was designed and crafted by Karen Jackson, Melanie Ransom, and Mary McCann.
Thank you so much. And in honor of the 70th anniversary of this congregation, I present to you a peace pole. It was too big to bring in, and so I have a photo. It's waiting at OUUC to be installed in a ceremony sometime this fall. We'll have an event to place it on the grounds. And with the purchase of this pole, there are 10 trees that are being planted in honor of this event today. May we be a beacon of light for the peace that comes from justice.
Mary Gear. It has been my great honor to witness your journey into the ministry. You were a member of the first congregation I served as minister. I'm crying. And so we've known each other about 20 years. I was there when you began to hear the call. I was there when you were ordained, and I'm there to see you settled. It is a great privilege to be your colleague and a comfort to be your friend. It has been an honor to accompany you on this journey. This is holy work. As ministers, we companion people along their journeys, and therefore my first charge to you is to witness these people. One thing I love about the ministry is the diversity of tasks we get to do. One of the challenges of ministry is the diversity of tasks we get to do. What I love first is we're performers on a big stage and quiet counselors in times of need. We are administrators and number crunchers, teachers, spiritual leaders, and social justice change agents. When the phone rings, we rarely know what it is ringing for or what task will be required next. We are generalists in a world of specialists, and I love that about the ministry. And because we are generalists, I've found in the congregations I've served that there are always lay people who are better at any part of my job. You, my dear, were better at pastoral care than I could ever hope to be. Your professional training as a social worker, perhaps, or just your life experience provided you with a gift for being with people emotionally, for being present and non-anxious. You bring a calming, healing energy to everyday interactions, and this is before she went to seminary. Your gifts are extraordinary, and this congregation is very discerning and wise to have selected you. I hardly need charge you with what you already do naturally, so let me just say, be who you are. That's enough. And on to the challenges. We're expected to be performers and counselors, administrators, teachers, spiritual leaders, and social justice change agents. Oh, I forgot to mention the new technical skills now expected of ministers in this multi-platform reality. The demands are many, and it is easy to get pulled in multiple directions, and sometimes, because we are human, we forget to share the load. We think it is ours to do and ours alone, and sometimes others even reinforce that it is ours to do and ours alone. I charge you to remember that this is a collective enterprise. There are always others in the congregation who are better at any given task than you. Find them. Let them help. Share the load. And finally, speaking to this challenging moment in history, besides the technical skills they never taught us in seminary, we are being called to lead in a world that is increasingly polarized, leading to a culture of contempt. Culture is hard to change, and that is what we must work to do. The ways of being that worked before are failing fast. We are all learning to work beyond our current understanding, to stretch beyond our skill set and leap into the unknown. This is holy religious work. I charge you with this holy work. Accept the complexity, the ambiguity, and paradox, even as you must make choices in order to lead. I charge you, Mary, to bear witness to these people. Your presence is enough. Be who you are. Share the load. This is holy work.
What a pleasure. What a great day. I am so grateful to be here with many people I know and some I do not. I was a member of the OUUC many years ago when my daughter was just a baby on my hip.
She's now living in Salt Lake City with her boyfriend. Her father's more upset about that than I am, but never mind. I don't know how it is in your life these days, friends, but these last some years have really taken a toll on my memory. Some of it is just plain old aging, right? I'm 65 now. I'm not sure how that happened, but I'm trying to claim my elderhood more explicitly. And some of it has been just the shifting sands of how the world works now. I'm so aware that we're in this profound time of unmaking and remaking of our lives and our world, and it takes a lot of energy just to keep up. Anybody? Can I get an amen from anyone? Yeah, thank you, choir. Yeah, and all the rest of you. Honestly, sometimes I think we need to take up the strategy that is used by one of Lily Tomlin's characters in the play The Search for Intelligent Life in the Universe. Anybody remember that play? So one of the characters in it is Trudy, who is a woman who lives on the street. And at some point she says that she has a hard time remembering things. And so she writes stuff on Post-it notes and taps it, puts it on her body so that she knows where she needs to look if she needs to remember things. I sometimes think I need to have that kind of a practice just to keep up. You see, I think you know this. It's easy to lose track of what we're called to do and be in the world. And it's hard to keep track, perhaps sometimes, of what we are called to do and be in religious community, too. But I know you all are pretty good at that. I've watched you for 20-some years at this point. I know that you're good at it. We know what it is we need to continue to do in this world, and my charge to you is just to remind you of what that is. We need to love, right? And then love more. And then love everybody. We need to make love visible, to find those who are lost and protect the vulnerable, create justice, save the planet. Our to-do list is ever and always the same. And I hope we all know what we need to enact this is always and ever the same too. Stay hydrated. Right? Who forgets? I mean, hello. Keep breathing. Nice deep breaths. Well, not when you're without your masks, but yes, keep breathing. Tell the truth. Support each other. Wear sunscreen. Find the way together. Offer your gifts. And always, always act with great compassion. But on this particular day and in this particular moment of the making of this covenant between you and the very splendid Reverend Mary Geer, I offer you these charges for how to continue on in this relationship. Do ministry together. Trust each other. Offer grace extravagantly. Keep faith with the process. Keep faith with each other. Share your vision. Share your time, your energy, and your whole self. And when things go off the rail, not if, but when things go off the rail, listen harder, love more, forgive abundantly, and start again. And my friends, never forget for a moment that what you do in this community, in this congregation, makes a difference in the world. I know the amazing things that you've done, and I know you will continue to do amazing things in the world. And the way we do it is together, shared vision, love abounding,
And I say, blessings to you all in this moment of love and hope, of possibility and promise. The world will be blessed by the goodness you are able to create. Thank you. Amen.
Today, of course, we celebrate the installation of the Reverend Mary Gear as the called minister of the Olympia Unitarian Universalist Congregation. But let us also today bless her ministry, a ministry committed to building spiritual community, honoring the diversity that is present and is yet to come, and advocating for and creating justice in this community and in the world. May she give voice to our ancient traditions' inspiring message and be a sustaining presence, bearing faithful witness to this vision. And of course, as we heard in the covenant of installation, no ministry is done alone. Reverend Mary Gear ministers in the shared company of the members and the friends of the Olympia Unitarian Universalist Congregation and the wider community. As welcome and necessary participants in and supporters of Reverend Mary Gear's ministry, I invite you to offer the blessing of the wider community by saying together, "We bless this ministry."
We bless this ministry.
May Mary Gear experience joy in the work to come, courage for those honest and sometimes hard conversations, as well as gratitude and appreciation for the called ministry she has pledged to share with this religious community. Now, let us pray. Infinite mystery, spirit of life and love, may the Reverend Mary Gear's ministry contribute to the building of a loving, just, and healthy world, a world in which the worth and dignity of every person is honored within the infinite web of life. May her ministry and each of our lives reflect the power of connection, compassion, and community. And may it reflect gratitude for the beauty of this world and for the gift of life. May love and grace abide here and beyond as we work together to build a world of justice and peace. Amen, and so may it be.
This is the sound of one voice, one spirit, one voice, the sound of one who makes a choice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one. This is the sound of voices too, the sound of me singing with you, helping each other to make it through.
voices do. This is the sound of voices do. This is the sound of voices three, singing together in harmony, surrendering to the mystery. This is the sound of voices three. This is the sound of voices three.
We invite you to sing with us. The words are found in your order of service.
This is the sound of all of us. Singing together with true trust. Leave the rest behind, it'll turn to dust. This is the sound of all of us. This is the sound of all of us. This is the sound of one voice, one people, one voice, a song for every one of us. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice.
My dear ones, today we have committed ourselves to this shared ministry. Honoring our past, we have pledged to move into the future in covenant with each other, to listen most deeply, and to grow together. We have committed to collaboration, creating beloved community, and sharing a vision of love, healing, and justice. As we go forth, carrying the light of today with us in our hearts and in our bodies, may we embrace this community and this shared ministry with joy. Amen, and blessed be. Thank you so much for your presence today in all the ways that you have joined us. For those in person, we invite you to a reception and to enjoy the anniversary digs all the way down this hall to the end. See you there.
I invite you to rise in body and or spirit, and let's sing together, answering the call of love. The words are found in your order of service.